Hey everyone, welcome to Geekettes Chat Reading Corner. I am Shirley and Happy New Year's! And yay, we have a new book to review. I read this through audiobook, and through December I read it and basically listened to it. And then I reread it again when I got it as a Christmas gift from my sister Christy, and I was excited to get it, and I was like, yeah! And so basically, and I finally got it, reread it, and the book is Red, White, and Royal Blue by the author Casey McQuiston. I'm sorry, sometimes I messed up her name, so I was like, I had to look at her name to make sure it was right. So again, this book, it's a queer love story between two men. One is the president's son, Alex Claremont Diaz, and then the other one is Henry, Prince of Wales. He's the Prince of England, basically. I literally forgot he gave his whole name in this book, but to be honest, I don't remember it. I should have wrote it down. But yeah, I think I saw a lot of people talking about this book. Apparently it was a very popular book, and I just heard about it this year, and I was watching basically YouTube reviewers of books talking about this, and I loved the cover because how pink it was, and I was like, oh, and then they went into it, and it was a very popular book in 2019 when it came out, and they were like, oh, it's a queer love story, and it's about the prince and the son of the president, and they fall in love, it's like a fairy tale, and they were really I saw them give 5-star reviews, and I was like, wow, that's like, okay, I'm excited. This cover is very pretty. I love pink, so sorry. And so I was just like, I saw all these great reviews for it, and I was like, okay, let me read it. Okay. I'm going to change how I review books. For my other, 2 videos for my book reviews, I went into depth, too much, and I literally explained everything that happened in the book. That's too spoilery, and I was like, that's too much. So I'm just going to cut it to characters, politics, because a lot of this book is about re-election of the U.S. Government, politics, the re-election of the president, and then overall thoughts of the book. So, again, remember, I was excited for this book. Then I started reading it. And I'm going to be honest, let me get into characters. Alex Claremont Diaz, right here, he is the lead. He is the protagonist of this book. He is the president's son. The first woman president of United States, Ellen Claremont, I think that's her name. Hopefully, yes, it is her name. And she's the woman president, and we never had them. And that was cool. And so he's the son of the president, and so he's half Mexican. Yes, he's half Mexican. His dad, Oscar Diaz, is a senator in California. And he finds out throughout this book that he is bisexual. And that's it. Basically, all you get from this character is those 2 things. That he's half Mexican, he's from Texas, and he's bisexual. He finds out about his bisexuality in this book, which I liked. But aside from that, there was nothing else about this character. And big flaw about this book for me that it falls apart is the lead character, Alex. I did not like him. I found him annoying. I didn't care about him. Everything was about him. Every issue had to be a rwarb about him. He did something wrong. It was not his fault. He was too economically privileged in a sense, and it was just like he didn't really care about other people, even though in a sense in the writing he said that he cared about people, but it felt like he only cared about what was happening to him and him alone. And he was so annoying. I'm sorry, I have to repeat it. I just did not care for this character. And when he's your lead character, the whole book falls apart, because if I don't care about the lead character, I just don't care about the relationships and what's going on with that person. So it's third person, so I felt like maybe if this was first person, we got more into his head and what he was feeling, it probably would have helped maybe not. I don't know. But he was so boring. So annoying. So I just didn't care. And the third person aspects of it was okay. It was a struggle because that's the first time I read in third person. But, at the same time, I got the flow of it. But I wish I cared more about Alex, so I think it should have been in first person. But then again, that's just me. I'm not a writer, so I don't know. Then let's go to Henry, because he is the romantic lead. Well, romantic co-lead. He's the love interest of Alex. And whoa, talk about cardboard cutout of a Prince Charming. He's just a cardboard cutout. There is nothing about him that is interesting. He's just hot. He's good looking. He's handsome. He's white. He's British. Yeah, basically in every movie, Prince Charming. Nothing interesting. The only thing is that I did like that she talked about Casey McQuiston. That they talked about was that Henry had depression, and he would go into these depression periods. And as I say, like, I have depression. I resonated with that because I have these depression periods where I just withdraw from people for months, and that's what happens. And I like that they went in. Casey went into that, and and I wish that Alex just understood better what Henry was going into when he had those depression periods, but he didn't really. Again, he made him about himself, but he was trying. But the writing, I just didn't feel it. So maybe because I just didn't care for Alex. And then again, so with Henry, I like that. And then I like the fact that, you find out what happened to his dad and everything, and what he's going through, and how that really, caused his depression and everything. But aside from that, and how he has to hide that he's gay. His family knows, the monarchy, the royal family, but he has to hide it. The queen tells him his grandma he has to hide it from everyone else, which is sad. He has to hide it from the public, their image and everything. Like, that's important. But it's sad, And so, yeah, that's basically it. But aside from that, nothing else about Henry. So let's get into the relationship. Because I didn't really care for both of these, Alex and Henry. I did not care for their relationship. I did not buy their relationship. I thought, to be honest, they were just like in lust. Like, the enemies to lovers aspect wasn't even there. Like, legit, I think it was just like one moment Alex, like, he doesn't like him because something happens at the Rio Olympics. So Alex doesn't like him because Henry treated him like bad for some reason. And then he just had this enemy aspect to their relationship, and they didn't like each other. And they always were like talking bad about each other and calling each other's names in just a nasty way. But it was just weird because, okay, and then out of nowhere they start hooking up, and so they start having sex and everything, and I'm just like, all right. And then out of nowhere their relationship changes, and they're just still like hooking up and stuff. And then when they're spending time and their relationship, their sexual relationship deepens, out of nowhere, Alex is like, I'm in love with Henry. And I'm like, but where did that come from? Like, I didn't buy it. Like, it just came out of nowhere, because all you guys do is lust after each other and sleep with each other, and that's it. Which is fine, but where's the love aspect? Because then later, they're like, we're so deeply in love. We're going to be together forever. The mom's like, is this a forever relationship? And he's like, yeah. And they're going to be together forever, and they're going to have kids. They're talking about having kids and all that. I'm like, I don't buy it. I really think that by the end, when they were together, I was like, I think by 6 months later, they would break up. Like, legit, I did not buy them lasting even 1 month together. I'll give them 6 months. And that's sad, because the whole book is about their relationship. And if I don't really care for them, and I don't think they should last, or I don't even think they should have ended up together, I was like mad that they were like together, because I was just like, I don't buy it. I don't think you care about each other like that. So I don't know. It's just, yeah, that's what it is. The other characters, June, Alex's sister, June, Nora, his best friend, and then Pez, who's Henry's best friend. I did not care for any of them. When they were like the White House trio, June, Nora, and Alex, I was like, I don't care. And then when they were all hanging out with Henry and Alec, with Pez as well, all together in a group in California, that section in California, I was like, wow, they're so annoying. And they're so like economically privileged, and they're like, just like, oh, look at us, and we got so much money and everything. And it was just like, ew, I would not hang out with these people. I don't know what it was, but I think it's the writing again for me. I just did not care for these characters. They came out so superficial, all of them, to be honest. The only character I liked was Rafael Luna, who is a senator in his 30s, and I actually liked his relationship with Alex, because I liked Rafael Luna because you learn more about him. He's a senator, he's Latino, he's gay, and everything that he had to go through to become a senator. You learn about all the struggles he went through, and how, you know, he got kicked out by his family from his home when they found out that he was gay. I cared for that character. I would actually read a book about that character. And I actually liked his relationship with Alex. Yeah, that was the only character I cared about. I did like Ellen Claremont, that she was the first woman president, and I liked that, yeah, I liked her. She was cool, but I don't think she really was that strong of a mother to Alex when Alex was like going through all his issues and, you know, finally figuring out that he was bisexual. I don't think she had a handle on that, or on a handle on her what Alex was really going through. So I don't know, but I did like that there was a woman president. So yeah, the politics. Let's go to the politics. U.S. politics. That was the whole thing about this book and the re-election, and then the sex scandal about Henry and Alex being together and outed it, which was sad that they were outed and they didn't get to like come out together as a relationship and stuff. That was sad. But aside from that, all the politics stuff was like very basic, and as much as I connect and I like, you know, I go with what Casey McQuiston, you know, and her politics, I still think she made it too black and white, and too simple. Like she was saying, like in this book, Republicans are really bad and Democrats are really good. They're the best. And I was like, no, Democrats do horrible, horrible things as well. And the reason why these issues are so complicated, you know, is you know, they're very complicated issues. You can't make them simplify or like basic in this book. You know, it was just too simple, I think, and then she relied on it too much. And I get that she was trying to make it simple in a sense for people to understand it, but I don't know, it was too black and white. It was too black and white for me. And it was too much in the book. Like the middle section was all about the politics and re-election, and I was bored. I was bored as hell, sadly. I was so bored. I think this book should have put more characterization on Alex and Henry than, you know, than spending so much time on the politics. So going to my overall thoughts, that was the thing. I said Alex and Henry should have got more characterization, worked on the relationship more, take out most of the politics. I guess, you know, the re-election was important, but like just take it out. I don't know, or to take out some of it. I think, you know, the relationship and the romance should have been the most important aspect of it. And I think it wrapped up too nicely in the end. But hey, that's not bad because she wanted to make it like fairy tale like. That's okay. And then yeah, that's basically it. I think yeah, the characterization, I wish the characters were more in depth in sense where I cared about them, or I cared about Alex somehow. And politics less. Yeah, that's basically it. I really wanted to like this book, but I did not care for any of these characters. I think it was also, I think what the problem was that it's about the presidency, U.S. government, about the president's son, and then, you know, the monarchy, the royal family. I really don't care about these people. You know, the privilege, the money, everything. It's just like, I especially don't care about the British monarchy and all that stuff. No offense, but like, it's just, it doesn't call to me anything like that. These were just very privileged people who had money and was just going around and not really caring about other people or the aspects of a lot of issues that were going on, and everything was just tightly they didn't do nothing wrong and all that stuff. And I don't know. I just really did not care for them. I really wanted to like this book. I was so excited to read it. And yeah, it was too superficial for me. Too superficial. And I'll give it this. The romantic comedy part, because this is a romantic comedy book, I actually liked. It was kind of funny. It was kind of funny, actually. Aside from that, yeah. And the fairy tale part of wrapping up anything, like I said before, was fine. It was okay. But it was fine. I like that. But as I said before, I didn't care for Alex. I didn't care for Henry. I didn't care for the relationship. So in the end, this book was... I didn't care. It was a bust for me. I was kind of sad that my sister actually bought it as a Christmas gift. I feel so bad because I was like, oh, I didn't like this book at all. I actually kind of hate it. This is actually one of the worst books I've read. Yeah, that's crazy to say, but it kind of is for me personally. I know people love this book, so people would just be like, what? But yeah, I don't care. So, going on to a better book, that my next review is coming out January 19th, that's a Tuesday, and it is Cemetery Boys by Adrian Thomas. Sorry, I had to read their name to make sure it's right. I am so excited to read this book and to review it January 19th. That is the next book review. I am I'm kind of in the first beginning pages, like I'm on chapter 4, I think, and I just love it so far. I love the character Yandel. I hope I'm saying their name right. Yes, this is a book about a transgender teenage boy who wants to prove that they are a brujo in their brujex community. It's a Latinx book. I'm so excited that I'm reading a Latinx book finally. Yes, so that is my review. Thanks for checking out Geekettes Chat. Subscribe, like, ring that bell. You know, we do movie reviews and TV shows, and yeah. Thanks for watching. Peace.